What's going on, everyone? So, Luka Doncic signed that contract extension, 3 years, and you saw a large majority of the teammates there. You saw about 8 teammates with Luka all hanging out. A lot of the kind of higher end rotation guys that are going to be, a big part of this team. And one of the more notable guys that weren't there was LeBron James. Right? LeBron James wasn't at the signing like several other players. Now, it wasn't the entire team. Like I said, it was, several, and we've seen LeBron James is working out at the old Clipper facility, right? He's in gear. He's kind of gearing up, but it's really odd. Okay. Now, look, I'm somebody that have said, I don't think LeBron's leaving this year. I don't think LeBron is going anywhere. I think it's feeling like it's shaping up to be his last year with the Lakers, though. The thing that isn't odd to me is not necessarily that he wasn't there for the Luka signing, right? Like, yeah, it would have been nice to see, would have been nice to have that encouragement, but I do think that would have been a lose-lose either way, right? I think if LeBron was there, everyone would have been like, oh, he's trying to show the shine, right? And then if he is there, right, like, because all the media attention would be like, oh, LeBron's there with Luka, blah, 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 right? So I think it was a lose-lose regardless. LeBron's putting in work. He's doing his thing, right? We love to see it. Him and Luka, I think, have the potential to be the best duo in all of basketball. I'm fine with LeBron not being there. He's working out, right? As long as Luka's good. Luka said all the right stuff about LeBron. This is the new age, right? We're officially ushering in Luka Doncic. I'm sure there was a big part of LeBron that's like, hey, let Luka have his moment, right? Because I'm sure he knows if he's there, that's going to be part of the conversation. And questions are probably going to, there were already questions about LeBron and all that, right? So I don't mind that he wasn't there. I'm okay with it. I don't think it's something that we need to look under a microscope, right? People already are like, oh, wow, I can't believe he wasn't there and all the other players were. Not worried about that. What I am worried about and what is kind of, I think, telling and concerning, right, is Rob Pelinka when asked about kind of the LeBron situation, right? And the body language, right? The change of tone, right? Go watch the video. Like, go watch the actual video of him when he gets asked that question. And you could see, Rob's always kind of very yeah, so we're just, but you can see the energy almost get zapped from him. And it's like, he's there, he's talking, he's, having a good time talking about Luka, doing all that stuff. And then the question about LeBron, and he's just kind of gets a little more serious, right? And maybe it's just to kind of, establish and set hey, this is the situation. But, he says, and it's the way he answered the question. Everything that I've talked about, with the, LeBron and his camp, right? I've all been kind of positive and stuff, right? And we'd love for him to be retired, but it just, go look at some of the press conferences previous years, when Rob talks about LeBron James. It's this joy, right? It's this oh yeah, we got LeBron this and LeBron that. And, oh, we're really excited for LeBron and blah, 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 blah. Right. And even in past, even earlier in the offseason, right? It was, hey, we really want LeBron to retire here. We really want, we really, see LeBron as this piece and blah, blah, blah. This just kind of seemed, and look, it very well could just be me looking into it too much. I tend to think I don't. Usually when I'm making these videos, I'm like, look, this is the noise, like the Clipper thing, where I'm like, it's all just noise. Here's the real situation, right? Like I even said with the image, right? The picture and LeBron not being there. A lot of people are freaking out about that. I don't think that that's a big deal. I think that that's fine. I think that's, whatever, right? But the press conference, I felt was very, if you wanted to, whatever, put your tinfoil cap on, however you want to approach. If you wanted to look into something, it's that moment where Rob Pelinka's talking about LeBron James. There wasn't this joy in talking about LeBron. There wasn't this it was just kind of yeah, we'd love if he, ends up sticking around with the Lakers, but, and there is this sense, especially now with Luka, that sooner or later, LeBron is going to depart. Sooner or later, LeBron's going to go in a different route, whether he retires or, he decides to, just pack it in and go to a different team, Cavs, whomever, right? And look, there is still a very real possibility that LeBron still asks for a trade at some point, right? Like, let the Luca thing happen, let all that get resolved, and then maybe he goes, okay, now that that's done, now that, I don't want to take away from those moments, I don't want to take from everything, let them all do their thing, and then now I'll do for me, right? And do his thing. I mean, again, that could be a very real possibility, right? I don't believe LeBron's leaving this year. I think LeBron sticks it out this year. I also think LeBron's best chance of winning is this year with Luka. I think, again, Luka is everything LeBron has asked for, everything LeBron needs, everything LeBron wants. Luka's a guy that has no problem taking the reins, being the guy, right? LeBron has talked about how he wants somebody to do that. Now, here's the thing. It's one thing to say it. It's another thing to actually do it. And we've talked about this in the past about LeBron. Right? LeBron says things like, I want to play more off ball. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then you see he's, heavily on ball, doing X, Y, and Z. I mean, even with the Russell Westbrook situation, which was a bad situation regardless. But the whole point was like, let Russ be Russ. Let him do his thing. And then they tried that. And then LeBron was like, all right, I'm just going to dominate the basketball. And then Russ moves off ball, even with Anthony Davis. Right? How many times do we see games and stretches? And this isn't a LeBron fault. He's part of it. But like with the Anthony Davis, and Anthony Davis getting completely phased out of games. Yes, it's coaching. Yes, it's in part coaching, right? With Darvin Ham. JJ, you didn't really have that problem with JJ, but with Darvin Ham, we did. And Darvin Ham kept saying like, oh, I'm this, the idiot coach just, needs to, but like, and never change. But it's also partly on LeBron and Reeves and whoever the ball handlers are. Yeah, because Anthony Davis isn't the guy bringing the ball up. Anthony Davis isn't the guy that's going coast to coast every possession, right? Ball comes up, goes to LeBron's hands, and then LeBron's making the decisions. If LeBron wanted to get Anthony Davis involved, he'd get Anthony Davis involved. How do we know this? We've seen it when he wants to get AD going, wants to get AD involved, right? So again, it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it. You think LeBron's not going to want to average his 24 points a game? Absolutely. Right? So how does that affect Luka? How does that affect Reeves? Right? Are they able to find that balance? Why I said that there's going to be things that they're going to need to kind of figure out. Now, I'm not worried about it yet. We'll see how it goes. But it's just, I trust LeBron to figure it out because I think he knows. I think there's a big part of him that knows, like, hey, I'm getting there in age. Right? Like, I'm not going to be able to dominate for 82 games a season anymore. I need to preserve myself. Luka gives me the best chance, right? Like, I don't think LeBron's oblivious to it, but he's also never been in this situation. And that's the key. That's the thing that I don't see talked about regularly, right? LeBron has never been in the situation he's in right now. So we don't have like a sample like size or anything to look at and point to or past history where it's like, LeBron's probably never been in this position his entire life. Even as a kid playing with grown men, he's never had somebody that's as good, if not better than him at this stage of his life. Right? So it's an adjustment period for him. And so now he's got to go through that. He's got to go through the conversations, the narrative, all of it, the noise, the media, everything about like, oh, this is Luka's team, Luka. And LeBron's not the guy anymore. Right? And even if he's okay with not being like, in the glitz and glamour and stuff, it's still an adjustment period for him professionally, playing wise, all of that. Right? So LeBron's going to have to make those adjustments. But the way Rob Pelinka talked and sounded, at least to me, again, it's just my thoughts, I could be wrong, but at least to me, it sounded like somebody that kind of knows this is it. Right? Like that LeBron's probably leaving next year. And look, here's my thing. Lakers are going to have a ton of cap space, a ton of flexibility next season. All of that obviously depends on if trades are made and what type of trades and stuff. But right now, I mean, they'll have more than enough to sign another star. There isn't one. Just a bunch of like role guys, which is great. You have Luka, but you need another star. Unless Ayton evolves into that or Reeves actually becomes that for them, right? Like Lakers are going to have to kind of figure that out. And that's why I've talked about it is in their best interest, probably at least the next 2 years, this year and next. It is probably in their best interest to want to keep LeBron around because you're not going to get somebody as good, if not better, or even necessarily close to LeBron in the next 2 years. Now, in the 2027 season, it's possible with Giannis or Luca or whatever, right? That I could see. But right now, with LeBron, like, he's your best option. And he's your best option for the next 2 years at least. So if I'm the Lakers, I'm not trying to push him out. I'm not trying to do that. Now, again, it could be nothing. It could just be, Rob just monotone, just talking. But it's just, again, usually where there's a lot of smoke, there's fire. Right? And it's okay, like this, okay, this could be written off. Okay, this could be written off. Okay, this is a little odd, but okay. Like, it's like, but how many things have to line up? How many things have to go in order before it's like, all right, maybe it really is that. Maybe it really is. Maybe this really is the swan song with the Lakers. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.